These fans returning to this place where they were too close to the Super Bowl. And as you can see, they're going to let the world know just how they still feel tonight. As we say good evening, everybody. Thrilled you're with us. Joe Tessitore and Booger McFarland for the 50th season of Monday Night Football. Emerald says revenge best served cold. But folks, right here tonight with this crowd, it is a red-hot crucible right now. We talked to Sean Payton, the head coach of the Saints. He said we didn't have the big meeting to discuss what happened in the NFC title game. We moved forward. You talk to Drew Brees, you talk to players. He says it stings for a long time. What do you think the mindset is with the Saints?
Well, the players are still hurting, and human nature says that the way the Saints lost the last 2 years with the Minneapolis Miracle and the pass interference call that wasn't, you want to come in here tonight and play with your hair on fire. You want to try to win the Super Bowl tonight, but they can't do it. They have to control that emotion. The Saints are a good football team. You can't win the Super Bowl tonight, but you can start to play consistent, and the consistency throughout the season will make them there in the end.
And they want to take that one last step. By the way, on the other side, the Texans want to take that step forward, too, when it comes to the playoffs. Remember, 3 out of the last 4 years, they've been division winners. What gets them to the next level? They feel the answer is protecting their star franchise quarterback. So there were the blockbuster trades of August 31st. And the one that got the attention and the criticism was the split from the former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney. They sent him to Seattle. The Texans felt he wasn't worth what he was demanding. They think he's a great player, just not at the price he was demanding. Then the big move came for the big man. They got their hands on the young left tackle, Laramie Tunsil from Miami, along with Kenny Stills, 2 first-rounders and more headed to South Florida.
You know, Clowney is a physical mismatch. I would not have traded Jadeveon Clowney. I can do something with that piece. He is an athletic nightmare. Now, on the other side of the ball offensively, everyone is being critical. You trade 2 first-round picks for Laramie Tunsil. Oh, by the way, did you see Andrew Luck retire because he got beat up and got hurt? I'd have traded 2 first-round picks also. Laramie Tunsil is a left tackle that's going to protect Deshaun Watson, and he gives him confidence. More importantly, this offense now has confidence.
Yeah, I mean, the way it's justified for the Texans is that Clowney was a luxury to have defensively.
Yes.
Tunsil is one of these win-now necessities. So, but show us what they're getting with Tunsil in the Experian boost.
They're getting one of the best young left tackles in the National Football League. This is the Houston Texans left tackle from 2018, Julian Davenport, against one of the better rushers, Yannick Ngakoue. It's like water through a seal. Same rusher, same move against Laramie Tunsil. Stones him. Now your quarterback has time to throw the football. You say, can he run block? Run behind this big young man. He opens up a hole. The addition of Laramie Tunsil as a pass blocker and as a run blocker now solidifies or starts to solidify this Texans offensive line, and more importantly, gives their young quarterback confidence.
I'll tell you, that guy right there is confidence. Sean Payton, he says, my team feels they are Super Bowl worthy, feels the Saints are ready to go out and earn it week after week. We're going to hear plenty from Coach Payton as he has chosen to wear tonight's Monday Night Mic.
How you doing? Good? Good. P-Rob. We said Marshawn. Let's go. Give me 3. Give me 3. Give me 3. What's up, brother? Good seeing you. You guys good?
Yeah, we were good.
All right. All good, man. Good seeing you.
For many reasons. It's not just the Saints. It's the Pelicans, too. The #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. Zion Williamson there with a whole group of guys who also came over from the Lakers. But meantime, Zion and Drew Brees have truly bonded. Their facilities just across the parking lot from each other. They are both the face of the franchise. And Brees' little boys idolize Williamson. But it is great to see the support of the Pelicans here for the Saints tonight. And you know, fans in general are so excited to see the Saints get the season started on Monday Night Football and exorcise the demons of last year. So back to the scene of the excruciating and controversial loss to the Rams in the NFC Championship game. Under 2 minutes to go. Blatant pass interference not called. Michelle Weisner-Buck now stands near the spot of the infamous Nola no call. Michelle, does that area burn your feet?
Yeah, I'm okay right now, Susie, but it is hot down here, especially when we reflect back on that no-call play. You know, the Saints and the Saints fans, they would really like to forget that this ever happened, but they can't. It's impossible. It is haunting the good people of New Orleans, and it will forever, as will another play that happened the previous postseason that also shattered the Saints' Super Bowl hopes. You remembered a little play called the Minneapolis Miracle? Yeah, that one. Well, those 2 dramatic losses got me thinking, Did they really experience just bad luck in back-to-back years? Could they possibly be cursed? Or is it, dare I say, something or someone else? I was determined to get to the bottom of it. It was you, Joe. It was you. Kidding, of course. And oh, by the way, for those of you that are wondering why I'm sitting on a couch next to Fox's lead play-by-play announcer, well, he is my husband, so, you know, thanks for playing along, babe. Here's the bottom line. No matter what you believe, whether it's a curse, whether it's bad luck, whether it's, I don't know, the fact that the Superdome was partly built on top of the cemetery, or it's just poor officiating, this game and that play gave us plenty to think about. Susie?
Well, Michelle, if that's sort of the fun, silly side, then the serious side is that it did bring about a change in instant replay. And Sean Payton, who is on the competition committee, he was very instrumental in bringing about a change. He got all 32 head coaches, including his pal Bill O'Brien, on board to bring about that change. As we welcome the newest member to the Monday Night Football team, John Parry. So he reffed the Super Bowl 53, and then retired. So yesterday, it was the first time in 19 years that instead of being out on a field, you were sitting and you were watching all the games. How would you sum up your day?
You know, as an official, after all that preparation, you go out and you work one football game, roughly 160 plays, roughly 3 hours, easy to focus. You're tired when you come off the field, mentally and physically. Yesterday in the ESPN Command Center, we watched 13 football games for 10 hours, over 2,000 plays. It's a long day. They all kind of started to mesh a little bit for me.
So did that give you then a different perspective of what Al Riveron, who's kind of command central in New York, has to go through when he's trying to watch and make calls?
Absolutely. I don't envy him based on what I did yesterday. I'm going to have to get used to it really, really quick. Al does a great job with it.
All right, so right across the field from where we are is the spot of the infamous non-call. So the point you're making is, for Al Riveron, after an entire day and everything starting to blend together, the whole idea of the changes to instant replay so that mistakes wouldn't happen. But you did see mistakes yesterday.
We saw a couple plays that I think, based on what is one thing to you, might be something else to me. So here in Cincinnati, the Seattle play, we've got a pass fumble situation. The officials do a great job of ruling fumble in case the defense picks up the ball and returns it. But in replay, it does appear as if he's got clear control, arm moving forward, incomplete pass in my book. Then we take it down south to Tampa Bay, where there's a potential for pass interference. Defender not playing the ball, contacting a receiver. Little bit of a push-off by the offensive player. Maybe that takes off one of my favorite players, Mr. Sherman. To me, contact without playing the football, pass interference.
So let's sum it up. Major mistake happens in the NFC Championship game. There's major reaction, but then it's a game played by people and human error. You can't ever really just clear that all up.
It's
fair?
human error. We're really good. These guys out here tonight are some of the best officials in the National Football League. They will be 98% accurate. Will there continue to be human error? Absolutely.
All right, so you'll watch all your buddies out here on the field, and you will be upstairs in the booth. Welcome to the team. All right, great to have John Parry with us. And hey, the game is coming fast. What does All-Pro receiver Michael Thomas have in store for us tonight? Most catches in the NFL last season, signed a mega deal to start a training camp. Now here we go. And his pal will be on the other sideline tonight, DeAndre Hopkins. What a show. Pass. And Steve, let's start with Drew Brees. He's now 40 years old. Last year's stat sheet says that his numbers were declining by the end of this season. Sean Payton says it's not about the numbers, that he hasn't lost a thing. What are you seeing?
Yeah, not much algae growing on him. I mean, that was a speech. I want to go play right now.
Wow.
But for the first time in 13 years, he did not throw for 4,000 yards last year. He threw for 3,992. I mean, if we think about what he's done, what he did last year, he set an NFL record for a completion percentage of 74.4. I never got close to that. 8.2 yards per attempt, most since 2011. Runner-up to Patrick Mahomes for league MVP. There is no decline that you can see other than He's 40. And you know human beings, we know for Tom and for Drew, at some point it will start. We're all watching for it, but I see no decline whatsoever.
All right, so Drew, we know he's got a lot of support and a lot of weapons. And Matt, one of the best is Taysom Hill, who Sean Payton calls the best athlete on the team. We've seen him integrated into this offense. How much more can they do with him?
Well, every player on this team calls him the best athlete on this team. Listen, it's hard enough to go up against Drew Brees, especially like on third down. You're studying for Drew Brees all week, and then all of a sudden, there's no Drew Brees at quarterback. It's this other guy, number 7. Who's this? It's Taysom Hill. And they're on the field at the same time. Ben, without Taysom Hill, then you throw him in, and nobody does it with 2 quarterbacks on the field at the same time better than the Saints.
And one of the reasons it works so well is because Hill is so unselfish. He ultimately wants to be a quarterback, but he's willing to put his body in harm's way to do whatever the team wants.
Well, you want to talk about unselfish. Look at number 9, Drew Brees. That's a Hall of Fame guy. He's going out there being a decoy as a Hall of Famer. That's the definition of unselfish.
And 7 has attached himself to 9 and followed him around to learn everything that he can from Drew Brees. Keep in mind, Susie, Drew Brees' contract is up. Taysom Hill's contract is up. Teddy Bridgewater's contract is up. Ooh. And because all those deals are up, New Orleans, I think, will wind up keeping Brees and Taysom Hill. And Teddy Bridgewater, I think, will try to find a job elsewhere else because they love Taysom Hill so much. You know how much they love him? They call him, they think of him as the next Steve Young. They've said that, Steve.
Will they give him the opportunity? Will they give him the reps? Will they give him the time? I suggest they start putting him in there in those spots instead of just running the wildcat. Yeah. Let him make some reads and let him throw the football.
Well, he was just playing tight end right there in that practice.
I think we could probably see a lot of Taysom Hill at tight end. But also, Steve, I mean, one of the upsides, too, for Taysom Hill, he gets to be in the huddle with Drew Brees and, like, really learn from a pro out on the field in the huddle. All right, we know this is a showcase, Randy, that you have your eye on. 2 first-team All-Pro wide receivers are on display tonight.
I'm looking at 2. Right here, you're looking at Michael Thomas, but on the other side, you have DeAndre Hopkins. You're talking about 2 elite wide receivers, and I'm going to give you a stat, Adam, to tell you why they're elite. On third down last year, they had 30 catches apiece, tied for second only to Julio Jones with 32, with 32 receptions on third down. So you're talking about 2 elite wide receivers. I was talking to DeAndre Hopkins before the game. I said, listen, you have a wide receiver on the opposite side of you. I said, it's either put up or shut up tonight. I know you're going to come and play, so I'm excited. Week 1, Monday Night Football, 2 of the best at their position coming tonight. Man, I look for a big game out of both of those guys. You
know what's fun, too? These guys are best buds, which is fun. Makes the competition even better. So bring your popcorn for the wide receivers. And now,
let's do it.
For one of the best of all time.
Let's get Moss.
In the Week 1 edition of You Got Moss.
Well, let's get it started. Week 1.
Let's do it.
We had the 5 nominees yesterday. We got the top 5 for number 1. But hey, I said all year there was a play in the preseason from the University of Georgia's wide receiver. I want y'all to check it out right here. Look at this catch, Steve Young. One hand, Steve.
Wow. Behind the back.
One hand,
behind
Steve.
the back.
Now, I said you will probably not find a better play than this right here. For all y'all viewers that's watching, y'all tag ESPN Monday Night Football and let us know, was that play from UGA or was this week's the number 1 play? I'm going with UGA, Susan. But that's a great
behind the back.
I like Hazelhurst.
Really?
Yeah, I like that.
Hey, it's only Week 1. Lots of time, but we're going to keep our eye on
Pace yourself.
the whole season.
Pace yourself.
That's a great
get
catch.
involved. Let us know what you think. All right, so early tonight, we had some fun chatting with J.J. Watt as he warmed up. Now, like we talked about, now is a totally different mood, right? Now's the game. Now he's getting his defense fired up. Love being inside the huddle with J.J. Watt. And that Texans defense, you'll hear him sitting down with Booker McFarland. Also, come on, man, is coming. And Watt adds that a game like this for an opener in this atmosphere, it's going to be crazy loud against a quarterback like Drew Brees, is everything you could ask for from a challenge. Right, Adam, what's like one last thing we should be watching for tonight?
Well, I think the Houston Texans lost Lamar Miller. We know that, right? But you're going to see a combination of backs tonight. Carlos Hyde, Duke Johnson, Buddy Howe, Taiwan Jones. I think they're all going to get some work tonight, Susie.
Wow, committee.
As an insider, you are off the hook from game picks, but everybody else is on. So it is time for our game picks, brought to you by Mr. In-Between on FX. And Matt, you're up first. Tonight's game.
Tonight's game, this is going to be a great one. I picked these two teams to have great seasons, but I really believe the New Orleans Saints are the team tonight. I played in this stadium. I know how hostile it is. I know how loud it is. And Alvin Kamara, he's the real deal. Saints.
You know, with me, I just look at, like Matt said, the atmosphere. I love this city. I love this dome. I think that Coach Payton, Drew Brees, and his committee are going to wake this city up tonight. They can't lose at home. I'm going with the New Orleans Saints.
September is preseason, and the veteran teams take advantage of it every year. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, that's why they play so well. They play well all year long, but they take advantage of a league that's still getting up to speed. I expect the Saints 41-31 tonight.
Could you really have a team that has a bigger chip on their shoulder coming off of last season? I don't think so.
No.
Plus the fact that you have a future Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees. That combination, plus the Saints have lost 5 straight openers. Something's got to change. All right, so quickly, just the pick for the second game of the doubleheader, Broncos and Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to take Denver tonight.
I'm going with Big Fangio, Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos after the preseason, the Raiders, 11-5 is the score.
Yeah, I think that that Denver defense could be really scary. All right, we have one final order of... Adam, you spent many, many years covering the NFL. Your debut, and come on, man. It's a staple of the franchise.
I've always wanted to do it. My lifelong goal has been achieved. I now can retire and walk off the set. I'm pulling an Andrew Luck. I'm done.
Drop the mic.
Hey, speaking of quarterbacks, just a reminder that both the quarterbacks in the game tonight have been so clutch, so don't go anywhere. No matter what the score is, you never know who's rallying back.
Deshaun Watson's poised to have a big season. Gets a chance to do it tonight in a very tough environment.
All right, we're going to see you at halftime. But in the meantime, enjoy the 50th season of Monday Night Football, 100th season of the NFL.